Singapore was still over a month ago, which is quite. No, okay. This is Japan. How can I forget that we're on Japan? Okay. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't do multiple episodes at a time. Singapore was done yesterday and released today. Japan was half done yesterday and is being completed today, and is being going live on Friday. USA I started working on yesterday and will be worked on tomorrow and Friday and released on Sunday. Don't do multiple at once. Anyway, Japan was still over a month ago, so May's got some stuff wrong. We can stop Lewis from winning the championship in this one though. I do remember that one. Actually, quickly, just before we start, I am going to check. I will tell you though, we were 3 tenths ahead of Lewis to begin the first part of qualifying, and yes, I was correct. We can knock Lewis from winning the championship in this race. Anyway, we started off that task very good, although we did have 2 laps. But we had 2 purple sectors, sector 1 and sector 3. Lewis took purple sector 2, Max in P3, and yeah, that's all we really need to know. No one else is relevant anymore. Sound like Twitter, don't I? Talking about opinions. Anyway, after the session, 18 milliseconds to Lewis in 2nd place, Max down in 4th. Not too bad. Japan's normally been a bogey circuit for the player, any player, but as of late, yeah, I've been a bit slower than normal. So much so that it's becoming normal to be quicker than them. Q2, we showed that again, going purple in sector 2 and sector 3. Not sector 1 this time, 2 milliseconds off that one. Max held that in P2, a 10th behind us. Lewis was nowhere to be seen in the top 10, of which began 1.6 plus seconds behind us. Valtteri was P10 with 1.6 seconds to us. However, that changed and it became Alonso 9 tenths behind us, as we were in 1st place, Max in P2 and Lewis P3. Max staying put, no change in his lap time. Lewis putting himself into Q3, 3 tenths behind us though. Very good. I can't remember how many points we need over Lewis. I think we can lose points to him and still win. So we go to quali 3. Let me see. We started off with 2 purple sectors once again, sector 1 and sector 3. Max took purple sector 2 again in P2, 4 tenths off us, while Hamilton was all the way down in P7, 1.1 seconds off us. How did the session finish? Well, we went out again for another lap, went 1.2 seconds quicker than Max over that lap, which was an 8/10 improvement, a 1:30.9. Max stayed P2, Lewis P7, due to me going out on circuit, the AI not getting their normal glitch times. Really wish they wouldn't do that, then I wouldn't have to worry about losing pole. Anyway, quick brief. To win, to stop Lewis from winning, we need to beat him by more than minus 11 points. Very easy. Let's go see if I did it or not.
After a fantastic qualifying yesterday, it's finally time for the race, here at one of the most exciting circuits on the Formula One calendar. Welcome from Suzuka. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at a wet and windy Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with Sector 1 likely to prove especially difficult in these conditions. We should see overtaking into turns 1 and 16 today, and maybe a few Kobayashi-style dives into the hairpin as well. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Albon, Valtteri Bottas and Sainz, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, Ocon, Vettel, Lance Stroll and Gasly, Magnussen, Perez, Mick Schumacher and Guan Yu Zhou, Tsunoda and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Well, it's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are three big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
So yeah, I forgot to mention that it's a wet race to begin with. Weather forecast says it's going to dry towards the middle. I can't actually see that. Again, I'm doing this after 9 o'clock. More so because this time I was playing with my telemetry, so I'm going to get my laptop. It's going to dry from 45 to 60 minutes, and then it's going to rain between 90 and 2 hours. 90 minutes and 2 hours. So, not too bad. Strategy, plain simple. Gonna see if we can extend the inters all the way till the forecasted dry. And it's also important to note, in this orientation of the drivers, why I gotta be so posh about it, we will win the championship. At this point, Lewis would have to be third for us to not knock him out yet, which it's not unlikely, but the starting 7th and it's wet, he's got a tough challenge ahead of him, so we're the ones in the box seat here. As I should no doubt mentioned in qualifying, we can make it so that Lewis does not win the championship. That cannot win the championship. We have to make sure that he does not beat us by 11 points, and the way qualifying finished, he's P7, I'm P1. Looks very likely that Lewis is not going to be able to win the championship if the race finishes as it is. So let's find out if it does finish the way it is. 5 red lights are out and we get a poor start once again. Max gets us into turn 1 and Charles and Alex are on our inside, but we go around the outside of both of them once Charles goes around the outside of Alex. Heading into turn 2, however, we get closer and closer to Max, and a little bit wobble through turn 4. 2 corners too early. We make a mistake, and Charles gets past us. So we're down to P3 on the opening lap. Not good. So on board with Alex, we'll go Charles. I just don't pull away. Max pulls away. Charles follows him. And into turn 1. Charles is ahead, but I just go clean around the outside, stay on the circuit, and try and find an opening on Max. However, turn 4, just a little wobble, and Charles is through. It looks like I'm turning too much. That could easily have been avoided, but it wasn't. Alright, Perez. Warning for collision. I think I know who with, because Schumacher gets a warning for collision as well. But I want to make sure. We all know it's going to be the hairpin. Just want to make sure he didn't hit Gasly. No. Probably got a warning with contact with Schumacher. I'll check that at the end and you can find out. So, we're P3. We're going to chase after Charles. Although, we tried a couple of times, but our best chance was until lap 4. When was it? Lap 3. I won't do the onboards. We got really close through Spoon at 130R, sorry. Tried to go down the inside, I'm going to have to go on board. Tried to go down the inside, wasn't alongside ever. Decided to back out. Let Charles have a position. I'm having lap 2. Nothing happened lap 2. Nor lap 5. 4, sorry. He made a mistake one of these laps and I can't find what it was. I think it was a mistake. It might just have been... He went a little deep, locked up. I can't find it. Anyway, we'll just go lap 7. Yeah, it's kind of a long one. There's a lot of notes in the race director events. There's a lot of events in race director, so it's going to be a long one. So I need to kind of trim it down as much as I can. So, through 130R we got a good run. And heading into Casio Triangle, Charles makes a mistake. Pressured him into one. Pounced. Went down his inside, went round the outside for the second part, down the inside for the final corner. Get the throttle planted, make sure that we get ERS flowing as well. Charles is on the outside. And even before grid spot 1, we're up into P1. Now we can go chase after Max. Next up, lap 8. We got a track limit warning. First of the race, hopefully. Oh, that is so close. You absolute idiot. That is so close. How can you do that? Lap 11, it started drying. You may not be able to see it. However, you could see it in the lap times, and they started getting quicker and quicker. We started closing in on Max, and we got close enough. However, we could not get close enough to make an overtake. And by lap 20, you can see the track is pretty much dry. And we're going to come into the box for some new tyres. These of which I was really debating, because I kept being told that the rain is going to come back. Now the weather forecast does not show that, but of course we're about 30 to 60 minutes in. That's a whole 30-minute period where it could go wet, dry, wet. So I eventually settled on going for soft tyres. Yeah, I'd have to do another stop onto the mediums if it stayed dry, but I'm being told it's going to rain again. So I came in onto the soft tyres. Could have broke a little bit later, but it didn't. Almost get held by Alex. Maybe a bit of an unsafe release, who knows. And what does everyone else go on to? Well, if you look at Max, he's on the soft tyres. We're not going to be able to see Charles. I'd love to. Oh, soft tyres for Charles as well. So we're not alone in this. However, instantly as we come out, there is a safety car. I'm waiting for a board so I can show you. There it is, safety car. And it is for this incident. Yuki Tsunoda and Sergio Perez both got a collision warning on this lap. Yuki got it first, so I'll have a look at him and see what he did. So at the moment we've just come into the box. Here's Yuki now. Yellow flags. Stroll spun. Tsunoda's crashed into Perez. Perez has got a warning for collision with Tsunoda. And everyone going slowly has brought out the safety car. So you just don't see what happened with Stroll. Oh, no. On board with Stroll then. Too much throttle. And Magnussen can't move. And unfortunately Tsunoda is the unlucky victim out of the race. Very unfortunate. Brought a safety car out though. London might be saved a little bit. He might jump up higher than he was. Might pop into the top 5. Wasn't there to begin with. That'd be good for him. But the safety car is going to come out. There's Fernando, P6. Very good for him. And we get underway at 23. So there it is, safety car comes in. Max brakes very late. Quite naughty from him. Don't know if that would break any rules. Actually, I'm going to have a look at that. So, actually hold... you didn't hear anything. So, Max gets the grid underway. And we're gonna chase after Max down the inside for turn 1. We got an amazing restart, and even before turn 1, we're alongside. Are we gonna get ahead into turn 1, down the inside, and by turn 2, we're up into P1, baby. Let's go back into the lead of this race. We can control it, and if it rains again, we'll just pit again, and now we're at the front, we can just extend our gap and pit if we need to. So, on board now. That looks very late from him. You never know, it might actually be fine, but that just looks very dodgy from him. 148. He just slows down. And it speeds up, he slows down to 70, he speeds up to 90. That is surely brake test. Hang on, I'm going to get my brother in to have a look at that later. So, yes, on board. I'm trying to find out the sport regulations. Where are they? I found my overtake somewhere. Got it. So yeah, we just got an amazing start. ERS straight away. Even before the grid spot, we were ahead into P1. Very good indeed. Max tries to fight back. Can't do anything about it though. And we're at P1. Let's go. Just having a look if I need to do anything. Nope, the next race director event is at lap 30. However, my next event is lap 25. So at the moment we're leading. And we're going into turn 1 and turn 2. However, through turn 2, a little bit on the curb, and we spun around. Half quarter spin. And we dropped all the way to 10th. 9 places. I'm trying to find out outbreak. Yeah, just going into turn 2, a little bit on the curb, and it's just spun us round. Down all the way to P10. Could have been a little bit higher had we not done another half spin the other direction. Although it would have been, I don't think it would have been much, it would be alongside one of these two. So now we're going to have to start overtaking people. Yay! Bear with me 1 second. Oh, no, never mind. Whoops. There's an overtake there. So we're going to try and overtake Lando. Hopefully he can do it. It'd be quite nice to get back into position. Oh, I found it. Article 55.5. No car may be driven unnecessarily slowly, erratically, or in a manner which could be deemed potentially dangerous to other drivers or any persons at the time whilst the safety car is deployed. This will apply whether any such car is being driven on the track, pit entry, or pit lane, as we've just overtaken Lando. In my opinion, that's a penalty for Max. He has just slowed down very quickly, no warning whatsoever. I almost went into the back of him. And it's not like he has to slow down. Like, there is no real reason for him having to slow down. I think that's a penalty for Max. I'll get my breath going to have a look at it later. Down the inside, 130R. Very easy move. He's on soft tyres as well, so yeah. A little bit of fight, but not much. You can go chase after Sebastian Vettel now. And I did try into turn 1, however I wasn't close enough, so that's why I've not shown it. And instead we're going to go to sector 3. See if we can get a move into 130R like we did with Lando. Do I show the whole sector 2? No. We've got a lot of overtaking to do. I'm going to be here all day if I don't. So, heading into 130R, we're going to pull to the inside. We're going to pull a lot earlier than we did with Lando. Down the inside of 130R, Vettel stays on the circuit, and we're up into P8 now. Very good move. Well, Much easier than with Lando. Lando for a little bit. But yeah, Seb kind of knew that he was getting overtaken. Didn't fight it too much, let me go. Knew I'm a quicker driver. Even though I don't admit it a lot. And I'm through. Half the race to go. See what we can do. S-Ban up next. And lap 27. You'll see it at the end of this lap though. Rain started falling. So, oh Jesus Christ, I forgot about this. So, rain started to fall at the end of this lap, so we need to make quick progress. I get being told, expect the raindrops in the next couple of minutes. Kept expecting. Down the inside of Vopon I went whilst I was expecting. Rain, not a child. I'm a boy, and I'm 17. 16, sorry. Not 17, 17 in later. This year. So anyway, we're up into P7. Very nice move. Oh, balls. Meant to go backwards and on board. Almost at 20 minutes already. Heading towards the hairpin, down the inside. Even before he turns in, we're alongside him ahead. Science was on a medium tyre, so that'd be a quick overtake. Yeah. And hopefully we can do it into 130R. We're quite close to him. That'd be very nice if we did. So, here we go. On the back. Straight towards 130R. No DRS, all ERS. Pull towards the inside. We're going to go down the inside. Science fights it though. He's going to be in the inside for the Casio triangle. We go all the way to the outside. And kind of just let him go. We'll have a better go into turn 1 with DRS and overtake. So, there we go. DRS open wide. Rain is starting to fall now. We're going to go to the outside of Science. Around the outside, a little bit of slippery circuit. Are we going to stay on circuit? No, not quite. You can see both the raindrops and me going wide. But we get ahead of Science. Now this is interesting. Oh, Bobbi, that should be illegal. That should be a 5-second penalty for illegal overtake. Just watch this. Down the outside of Science. Off the circuit. What part of the circuit can I stay on? Yes, okay, I've gone wide before Science has closed the gap. I'm going to have to go off the circuit anyway. There's no way I can stay on the circuit here. No matter what. I am going off the circuit. So, yes, Science left room when I came on, when I came off, and when I came off. And Science did not go back ahead. However, Science gave me no room, so that even if I wanted to stay on the circuit, I couldn't. That's not a penalty in my opinion. You can say otherwise, but I don't expect anyone to, because no one comments. But yeah, there's no way I can stay on the circuit, so there's no way that is a penalty, in my opinion. Like, you want me to stay on the circuit? Give me space. That is not an illegal... Yes, it's an illegal overtake, but it's a forced illegal overtake. There's no way Science... There's no way I can overtake Science without going off the circuit. Science has pushed me off the circuit. I just want to see, does Science actually get back ahead? No, I mean it wouldn't matter anyway. He has to stay ahead for like a good decent time. You shouldn't let someone go and then, but in a way that you can easily overtake him again. We had that issue in Jeddah 21. Anyway, Fernando Alonso's up next, P5 now after my mistake. see if he can get him. Not close enough into the hairpin, so we'll have to wait till 130 yards. But it is beginning to rain a lot now, and he's on medium tyres, so we have better grip. I've told Lewis is on medium tyres as well, so these next two overtakes we need to get quick before the rain properly arrives. Down towards 130, are we going to pull to the inside? Yes we are. Are we going to be ahead just as we get to the corner? Alonso has gone off the circuit though, but I think we were ahead, so he could have stayed on the circuit. And we're up into P5, now able to go overtake Lewis on lap 29. I'm ahead. There's a little bit of a gap. Alonso did his staying on circuit. He kind of just drove off. I didn't force him off. Okay, maybe I kind of did. He's still on the white line. He's still on the circuit. And yes, I could have stayed on the white line this time, but come on. Anyway, we've overtaken Alonso. Let's go overtake Lewis. Should be easy. Valtteri's been holding all this up. Kind of thanks. Kind of need to thank you, Valtteri. I wouldn't have been able to make this progress without you. And heading into the hairpin, we're going to go on the right hand side, switch to the left hand side, down the inside, a little bit of lock up, no contact, hopefully. And we're up into P4. Fernando is going to try and overtake Hamilton though, and we have a little bit of a wobble. Alonso is going to try and come back at us, heading into Spoon. Going to defend the outside, he's going to try and go down the inside, no contact. Is he going to keep it in for the second part? No, not quite. And we stay ahead. And we get 4th position. Sorry Lewis for making you lose 2. However, as it looks like he tried to get back at him in 130R anyway. On board with Lewis. He looks up as well. No contact, it's fine. Sorry that Alonso got past. That Alonso got past as well, but it's fine. He has a little bit of a wobble out the Spoon. That's what allows Hamilton to get through. Through 130R. Alonso fights back. Good on him. And he stays ahead. Wow, okay. Anyway, we're on lap 30 now. We're P4. We're close enough that we can get P3. Hopefully we do so. Closing in on Valtteri. Gonna have a look into the hairpin, because otherwise we're gonna come into the pits this very soon. Maybe even this lap. Heading into the hairpin down the inside. Blocked up though. Gone a little bit wide, and there's a little bit of contact with Valtteri. A little bit of a wobble on the rear end, but so is Valtteri. And we're P3, but with a potential penalty for a collision. And this is very close, but I've used Rosberg 2016 at Austria as an example in my reasoning. Basically, I've just not turned. Go on board Valtteri. Minor contact, a little twice. And the only reason the contact was there was because I did not turn, just like Rosberg at Austria. Can't believe that was 7 years ago. I remember watching it live. Anyway, I've gone down the inside. I've made an effort to make the corner, but I haven't turned in yet.
Going shopping, do you want anything?
No. Yeah, I've just gone in, not turned. I thought it was a little bit harsh, but I've just not turned with a contact. My brother agrees, 5-second penalty for me. However, I can't serve it in-game. And even though you come into the box, I can't serve it in-game when it's an out-game penalty. And so when we come into the box, onto the inters for the second time in this race, I can't serve the penalty. So it's going to be added to the end of my race time. Into the pit lane we go. Lewis has to carry on. We brake really early for the box, and everyone is coming. So much so that we're going to get held. And we've been jumped by Alonso and Bottas. Very good. So we're now going to have to re-overtake those two. We also kind of had an unsafe release with the anti, but it's not that bad. Not deserving of a penalty. But yeah, we got absolutely held by everyone. Alonso further down the pit lane gets that cleanly. And so is Bottas. So yeah, we're screwed. We've got a 5-second penalty and we've got to overtake 2 drivers. And then get after Max and Charles. And then create a bigger 5-second gap. Yay. I've done my 2 zone laps in that previous stint. I've done the raining. Next up, lap 35 with Charles. However, we first got to go to Max, because he had a very big issue and did what I did. And out of Charles through, and to be honest, I thought he was retiring again, but no, just a little mistake, and allows me into 1.5 seconds, yay! So we can now close that in. I need to show my overtake on Bottas. God damn it, I forgot about that. Where did I go? There I am. If I say so myself, this was a very good overtake. We're going to the end of pit lane because there's no reason to watch the pit lane again. So, 1 second to Bottas, we're just closing that in so much. We are so quick into that. I don't know what was weird. It was weird because we had like it was a dry setup really. It was set up to go well in the dry. Go well in the wet, into Dunlop, down the inside, did what George did in real life last year. Great move, if you ask me, up to P10. Obviously provisionally P4. It's quite bad. Here we go, just closing in on Valtteri all the time. And had the grip to stay with him around the outside. And then pulled down the inside. Up into P10. Quite a good move if you ask me. No contact. Very ballsy. In the wet. That's good. Now we can get to Alonso. Had a look into turn 1, didn't do it. Didn't want another going wide at turn 1 and potential penalty. So instead, we waited for 130R. As always. So here we are at the beginning of 130R. ERS deployed. Where are we going to go? We're going to try and go down the inside. A little bit late this time, however, alongside into the corner. No forcing Alonso wide, and we're up into P3. Able to nail chase after Charles and Max. And able to close in, what, 5 of that 10-second gap to Max, with his little mistake on lap 35. And I'd already closed in a second. So he helped me with about 3. He did lose 5 to Charles. He was 2 ahead, now he's 3 behind. 5 behind, sorry. 7 seconds. He helped me close in a lot more. Whoops. I was 9, now I'm 1.5. That is a closed in of about 5.5. No. 9 minus 1.5. Why can't I do that? 7.5 seconds. There we go. Yeah, that corresponds with Max and Charles. But, you know, Charles had an issue on lap 35 as well. I said I thought Max was retiring. No, it's Charles. Charles is going to retire from the Japanese Grand Prix, handing Max and me in extra position. Out of the race he goes. Very lucky that we now only have to overtake one driver and build a 5-second gap to just one driver. Should be easy. That's what they all say when they don't have a penalty. Especially a time penalty. Time penalty for track limits. Cool. Thank you. Really wanted that. Really wanted that warning. Why am I so prone to corner track extending? So annoying. Anyway, we got bored of Max. Knew that I might not be able to get the gap to Max, so I had to settle for P2. But I knew that I could have got the gap to Fernando. And the best way to do that was to get an overtake on Max. So, heading into 130R. Gaining. Where are we going to go? How are we going to make a move? We're going to be a little bit late. Down the inside. Up into P1. Got complimented by Mark. So it must be a clean, good move. Up into P1. Now we've just got an extend. 5 seconds to Max. At this point I was thinking it had to be 10. Of course I was. I thought I got a penalty with science. Of course I did. I went off the circuit. But, as seen, science gave me no room, so I could not stay in the circuit. And so it's not fair for me. Down the inside, no contact. Max stays on the circuit. Very good job. Now we just got to use 13 laps to create 5 seconds. At the moment we've got P3, that P2 in the bag, so let's go and make P1 in the bag. At 43. Dreams came crashing down when I got a third warning. That's why I was so annoyed at our first warning. Oh, buzz off. Tell me I'm on the white line. Please. Please. Please, 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 please. Okay, I'm not on the white line there. I'm not touching it, but I'm over it. God damn it. Really? I can see the white line in full. That's a penalty. So now we have to close that game 8 seconds. Science got bored. Although I don't know how you can get bored in that one car. And his engine went pop. Out of the race he went. And yeah. From P6, if only it was Max again. There he goes. Pulling over to the side and getting passed by everyone. Albon's had a poor race. He was up there, but he's dropped down. Same with Lewis and Perez. Actually, Perez has had a good race. He started quite low. So, yep, Sainz out the race. And we got the yellow flags at the end of that lap for it. There he is, peekaboo. Both Ferraris out in one race. Where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, that's right, Azerbaijan 2022. And you can kind of say Australia 2023 because none of them got points, so don't get points kind of out of the race, if you ask me. So that's all the events in the race director. What about solo laps? One more. One more slow lap and that was 48. At this point we had 6 seconds to Max. Just needed 2 more seconds. However, as we head towards Dunlop, we did what we did lap 1, just 2 corners later. And we spun around. And guess what? Max closed in 6 seconds. He is now within 1 second. There's so many ways this race could have gone. We kind of had an Italy of a race. Just a little bit, and the grass has just screwed us. No grass there. Could we have saved it? I don't know. Would have been quite difficult. Not even on the curb, just a little wide. On the grass kind of spins us round. That's me trying to spin the car fully round. Only did it 180. Would I have been able to save it quicker had I not done that? I would have hoped that I stopped spinning here. I mean, I found that you can turn 90 degrees and you'll spin 270. Nope, the car only did 180. I like to think, I don't know, I could have saved it quicker, I'm trying to say. I'd like to think that I could have saved that quicker. But I didn't. And Max capitalised. There I am, trying to rejoin the race. Max almost spun himself. That would have been brilliant. That I would have loved. But no, Max has got to be perfect. Max has got to be the golden boy for Red Bull to win the trophies. Why can't you let someone else do it, please, Max? Ignore the fact that I've got Championship 19, 39, 59 and I want Championship 39. It's a different series. Yes, I know it's the exact same card, but a little bit higher AI, but come on Max, just let me have it. Five laps. Technically we need 3 seconds because Max is the... There's no way Max doesn't get a penalty to that. That's very dangerous driving. 0.4, 0.6, 0.7, 1.2, final lap 1.6, we need 1.4 on this final lap. And if we had done the pace that we did before last spin, we would have done it. We would have done it. 2 seconds, 1 more second, come on, we can do it. No, don't go down, it's going down, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, now we need 1.4, 1.2, 1.4, 1.3, 1.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. Yeah, Max just went beast mode in these final 5 laps. This final lap in particular. So we come across the line. We've got the gap to Fernando. We're going to finish P2. But it's not P1. We didn't make the mistake behind Charles. I think instead of Charles on lap, whatever lap we overtook him, I say we were overtaking Max that lap. And I say we're extending our gap. We don't make the mistake on lap 25. And I say we're extending our gap. 1, we're not getting a penalty for the overtake on Bottas because we'd never be behind him. We'd always be in front of him. So that 5-second penalty is eradicated. And we're ahead of Max before his overtake, before the inters, second inters. Meaning that we would have been ahead when he spun. He spun, lost 7 seconds. Oh, look at that, 3-second time penalty for qualifying. Thank you very much, 4 seconds. Oh, look at that, we overtook and gained 6 seconds on him. Thank you very much, 10 seconds. Spin. And we would have finished 4 seconds ahead of him, with the penalty included. It doesn't matter if Max gets a penalty for the safety car, because I've got a penalty for hitting Bottas. We're getting back to our old ways. We need to get back to... It's so annoying at this point. and add 25. 81 points to Max. What am I doing? Come on. We have 2 race victories for Max. We can still retire from a couple of these. We've won the Constructors though. So here we are for the first of 2 weekend clips. Right behind Max Verstappen on lap 16. Able to recover a little bit from our poor start. Been hassling Max ever since we were really behind him. Fortunately not got enough pace. We're going to have a look down the inside of turn 1, back out just before, so it's not a really...
Okay, you sat in P2. It's Verstappen ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on old intermediates. Leclerc is behind you. Our gap behind is 2.2 seconds. They're on old intermediates. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. 37 laps to go.
And that's the weekend clip right there. Max having a little sideways moment, and Mark talked through most of that. So now the clip is about to end. Very good. Anyway, what I was meant to be saying was turn... Yeah, Mark, I'm talking over you this time. Turn 1's not a big enough brake zone for it to actually be a dive bomb area. So hence we were not able to get past him in the wet. Under the dry conditions though, heading on to lap 25. You should know what this means. Heading towards turn 1. Yeah, it's quite weird how much pace we had in the dry, in the wet, and how we were able to pull away at the end in the wet. However, we couldn't pull away in the dry because we fell behind 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, now 9th, 10th. Yeah. I wonder why I'm so bad. Almost did it again. Almost spun again. Welcome to the Monday morning review of the Japanese Grand Prix. It was a very good one till 2 laps happened. But other than that, it was quite alright. Yeah, just 2 laps kind of ruined it. Where we were able to bounce back from those 2 laps and get a good result. So let's see what that result was. Max finished P1, you were P2, Bobbi, Alonso in P3, rounding out the podium. Our rivals were the only one that was relevant. Lewis down and out in P8. I believe that was the only one that could still win the championship. So, Max Verstappen won the race. However, we got fastest lap, and only Verstappen can still win. So yeah, we were able to get enough points over Lewis that Lewis can no longer win the championship. So very good job there. Partially Lewis to thank there for being so low down in P8. Obviously P7 starting from Q3, not the easiest position, so we need to thank Lewis on that. So how does it actually affect the Drivers' Championship? Like I said, the notes for the championship are handed to you in that little booklet in front of you. Feel free to make any comments in those booklets as well, so I can improve this for next time. Drivers' Championship. Bobbi, you're P1 still, Max is in P2, and Lewis is in P3. Max Verstappen did gain 6 points on us. However, Lewis could not win the championship, and we only need 19 points on Verstappen to win next time out in USA. I know it's a lot harder than that's a lot harder than it sounds. Seeing as if we win, it'd be 26 points, and so Max Verstappen would have to get less than 7, which is P10, 9, 8, 7, less than 7th place, I believe. Because I believe 6th place you'd get 8 points, yes. So 7th or lower for Max if you win the race with fastest lap. So a lot of stuff to go through there. But it's looking good, and the fact that you can win the championship with one race later than last season, despite how much worse this season was than last season, shows how lucky you've got, and Max's inability to perform a couple of times in the most recent races, such as Singapore and a couple of retirements he had, like Australia and a couple others, I believe. So, how does it all affect the Constructors' Championship? Mercedes, we are P1 with Red Bull in P2 and Ferrari in P3, rounding out the top 3. We only scored 3 points over Red Bull, despite how promising Q1 was looking. However, Red Bull could win on countback, which means Red Bull need 1-2 in USA to keep the championship alive, as long as we don't finish in the points. Now, that seems very unlikely, and so we could go for the double and get both Drivers' and Constructors' Championship in one round, and that would just be amazing. We've got to thank the team, Bobbi and Lewis, for being such amazing drivers this season, getting us all the points that we have got, all 500 of them, it looks like. Very good job from you guys. Could not really have asked for anything better. I know both of you have had wobbly races in the season. Please turn off your phones, but that is normal, and yeah, the way you bounced back from them was incredible, so well done there. Now, race lap graph, 3 stints, 1 on the intermediates, and then followed by a dry stint, very quick one, I believe on the mediums, followed by another set of intermediates to finish the race. So yeah, it was raining for the first part, started drying from about lap 11, came in just at lap 20, safety car came out for an incident, lap 21, 2, 3 and 23, came in and you got a mega launch, got yourself past Max on the restart, and then half spun lap 25 and put yourself P10 I believe, and then you had to make several positions, and you were able to get quite high before the pit stops. And then you made some more positions afterwards and got to about lap 40, then you were able to get Max, and then you spun again, and with the penalty it wouldn't have mattered anyway because we finished behind him anyway. No, I believe we did finish ahead, just the penalty put us behind. I have to check that, I can't remember. I was too busy celebrating the fact that we could win the championship next race. So yeah, the first stint, very good line. It is a little bit up and down, but if you look from it from far enough away, it's a solid line, very straight. The second stint, really, there's not much to talk about, so we can kind of ignore that. And then the third stint, a little bit good at the beginning, and then it tailored off towards the end, towards the middle, got a little bit higher on the lap times, then dipped back under 43.6s, apart from that one, lap 48, and then under the 143s 6s to finish the race, which was very good. So yeah, the final intermediates was a wave. Yeah, I don't have good grammar. Never liked English. The first intermediates was good, and the slicks were good, removing lap 25. So last but not least, go on to the Japanese Grand Prix in 8 images. Bobbi, you sent in lap 25 and Q3 result. Mark, you sent in the race result and the Drivers' Championship. Toto, you sent in Q3 result and Q1 result. And Rosie, you sent in the warning that gave us the penalty and the safety car restart. So without further ado, let's get into your 2 images, Bobbi. Yeah, laps 25. We're blaming it on a wet curb. I think it's reasonable. Yes, the safety car did dry the circuit. However, the curbs, they're obviously going to still be waterlogged for quite a while. So, yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate how it played out. Would have been better if you didn't spin, obviously, but yeah, you did, and yeah, it set us back quite a bit. However, we got pole position, and that's very good. By quite a margin as well. Over 1 second it looks like there, so very good job, well done. In quali. In the race you did really well to gain back up, get back high. Mark, your 2 images came with the subtitle text of Max won the race and Lewis can no longer win the championship. So yes, the race result, even with the penalty we were 1.9 behind Max, so you did overtake him at the end, 1.1 ahead, you just couldn't break that gap. So yeah, that spin at the end really cost us. Would have preferred it to be at the beginning, the first stint, because then you would have had much more time to deal with the mistake and gain back the time, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, and unfortunately it just didn't fall at the right time. Please, may I remind you that you turn off your phones. But yeah, Lewis can no longer win the championship. Very good. Again, like I said, partly helped by the fact that Lewis was so bad in this race. But Bobbi, you did well too. You did the normal standard procedure to be so high that you were able to capitalise on Lewis's mistakes. So, Toto, your 2 images. Yeah, Q3 and Q1. Q3, Lewis finished in P7, and Q1 was promising against Red Bull. Both of these I completely agree with. Lewis down in P7. The bad image is made worse when you realise what the good image is. It's Lewis in P2, and the fact that Q3, Lewis was all the way down in P7. Very unfortunate there. But so Lewis just needs to improve and get quicker. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but yeah, especially when the constructors is pretty much a done deal. So yeah, but we don't want a poor race. We want the best race we can, because then we can set some records, and records are always nice to have your name under. And then yeah, Q1 was promising against Red Bull. 1-2 with only one of the Red Bulls in the top 14. Perez only just managed to scrape through in. No, I think Perez might have actually been knocked out. Can't remember. Finally, last but not least, Rosie, your 2 images. Yeah, 3-second time penalty and safety car drive the circuit. So yeah, 3-second penalty received for that one being the third limit. So yeah, let's talk about it. I think you got 4 or 5 limits. Not the best. Would rather have 0 or less than 3, because then you get no penalty. But you can't. Well, I was going to say you can't go a race without going no penalty, but you've done it before, so I can't see why you couldn't do it, Japan. So maybe that's something to have a look at between winter of this season and the next championship, because that's pretty much a done deal. So yeah, just have a think about track limits and consistency next season. And then the safety car driving the circuit, yeah, I still don't know what you did to get such an amazing launch, because you weren't even in the slipstream for long on Max. So that was just amazing. Well done on getting the perfect launch, and you're pretty much P1 by turn 1, or you completed the move in turn 1. That's all we need to say. Very good job to get P1 straight away. So, if you've got no more questions, thank you for listening to the Monday morning review of the Japanese Grand Prix. USA next. We've got 4 races and a sprint left to go, and it's looking good. So I'll see you all for the US GP. Back to normal me now. Sorry, I'm really quiet. It's really late. It's almost 11 o'clock. So yeah, I shouldn't be doing this, but I decided to waste an hour earlier, so I'm wasting an hour of my time after. So yeah, 4 races to go. It's looking good. Pretty much what I said, pretending to be the other guy. So yeah, nothing else to say. The championship stuff will be in the comments. I'll make sure of that. And yeah, see you in USA. Bye.